So the Dunkin' Disaster DLC, nah, that ain't right, dude. The Dunkin' Disappointment, Dunkin' Donuts, the Dunkin' Destruction Pack finally touched down. And despite having some solidified names in the world of professional wrestling, one of the dopest, if not the dopest, 50 Cent song in his entire catalog, as well as a couple of new weapons, I would still classify this DLC pack as the stone that the builders refused. It's basically WWE 2K25's Pat McAfee and Friends pack. It's that DLC that we get that nobody wanted or ever asked for.
Nobody watching ever wanted that!
But yet they give it to us anyway. And I could tell that this is a very WWE decision. I mean, I don't put this on 2K or VC at all. But despite WWE 2K25's DLC woes, I want to kind of pivot in a different direction. You know, over here we are all about the gameplay, and that's what I kind of want to talk about is some of the things that I actually rock with from this DLC pack, and maybe a couple of things that I didn't. So WGC, let God hold them problems for a minute, but give me your attention. Lock in and let's work. Now, let's make no mistake about it. When it comes to these games, you guys know that I am very pro wrestling first. And when it comes to the DLC, my philosophy does not change. That means I would much rather have legitimate pro wrestlers than any type of celebrity guest. Just at face value from a pro wrestling fan, I feel like there are far more deserving roster members that deserve to have a spot on this game as opposed to just some celebrity that's making a couple of one-off appearances. But we know that TKO's iteration of WWE isn't exactly in the business of pro wrestling. They're more so in the business of money and entertainment. So as a fan of the WWE 2K series, I'm like, nah, this ain't it. And as a fan of wrestling, I don't respect it, but I understand it to a degree. But if there's any saving grace, then it would definitely have to be the new moves that are associated with this pack. There are some pretty cool moves in here, along with some dope, unique animations, which ironically is part of a bigger problem that I'm not very fond of, but we're going to talk about that later. But with that being said, man, shout out to VC and 2K for the new moves because they never seem to miss when it comes to these. New weapons is something that I'm always going to rock with in this series. Now, I get that, maybe some people are not into the things that they are adding, such as the basketball. Like, why do we need basketball and footballs in a wrestling game? But given the theme of the pack, I mean, it makes sense. Not to mention, there's some pretty cool animations that comes along with the basketball. One of my favorite animations by far is the fake dunk. I mean, this just harkens back to my childhood. If you are a fan of basketball, at some point you've done this to somebody. Whether it's a friend or a family member, somebody got fake yam dunks. It's just one of those things that's just really cool to see. But on top of that, VC was also able to give us the lovely Janice, which is a 2x4 with a bunch of spikes and nails sticking out of it. Just a cornerstone of video game violence. And I rock with it. The problem I have with these additions, and especially a weapon of this caliber, is the fact that they didn't put forth any effort to try to give us any kind of unique animations associated with Janice. It's basically just a baseball bat reskin. And to be honest, man, that's kind of disrespectful. I mean, especially considering what we got with the basketball. Like, they got so many unique animations with that, but you mean to tell me they couldn't give us nothing? Especially for a very unique pro wrestling weapon. Like, why are the things outside of the genre getting better treatment than the things that actually exist within wrestling? In times like these, it is hard not to question the logic of VC for some of the design choices for certain situations such as this one. Like, I totally get like the sword of power or whatever it is in the game. It's like a sword weapon they gave us. I can understand that one being a reskin because that's not really associated with like anybody or doesn't have any historical value. But when you have a weapon like Janice that ties directly into a character's persona, as a fan of wrestling and its video game counterpart, you really want to see them give that weapon the love and care and attention that it deserves. And while we're on the subject of character likeness, I want to give a huge shout out to VC for the phenomenal job that they did with the Great Khali. Everything from the unique way that he pulls wrestlers up off the mat to the way he steps over the ropes, and even like his super heavyweight giant pin that he does when he like just stands on their chest and raises his arms. That's the type of attention to detail and character work that is needed in this series. I love the idea of wrestlers being unique in a way that separates them from everybody else. And it's not just based on fighting style. Because even though like certain versions of Taker and Great Khali are both considered giants, From a gameplay perspective, these two guys play extremely different, and that's definitely a good thing. And it's all accredited to the aforementioned attention to detail. Now, with that being said, on the flip side of that, I don't think this justifies locking players out of certain content and actions. For example, the unique animation that Kali does when he lifts an opponent off the mat, which he basically kind of grabs them by their throat or like a face palm or whatever, and just pulls them up off the mat. Now, Undertaker's been doing this way before we ever heard of Great Khali, but yet he doesn't have a animation like this, nor can we assign it to him. And that's the problem, man. Like, why don't we have these actions available to us? And this goes back to even like the past DLCs back in WWE 2K25, like when we got the likes of Dragon Lee being able to pull down his knee pad. Like, yo, my created superstar has knee pads too. I mean, I want to be able to pull down my knee pad. Matter of fact, her signature is like a corner knee. I would love to be able to build some suspense and get the crowd hyped by pulling down the knee pad and then hitting the signature, man. That would be amazing. But guess what? I can't do that because these type of actions are in DLC jail, locked behind certain characters, and we don't have access to them. I mean, that's crazy to me, man. Like, I don't feel like anything in this game, especially a $200 game that we paid for, should have anything locked to where we can't access it. Especially not something as trivial as simple actions like stepping over the rope or pulling down a knee pad or lowering straps. Like, come on, bro. And I've said this on a couple of videos, man. I really think we should be able to access these type of things through our move sets. So like, if you wanted to have an animated attire section that we could equip on our created superstars or whatever, and just give it to us that way. I would also love to have a section in the moveset for unique animations like picking somebody up off the mat or the ring in, ring out, or things like rebounding off the ropes. And of course, having us a weapon moveset. This way we have access to things like the Van Terminator or the White Russian leg sweep. And the music is the same thing, man. Like, why is Mini Men locked to where we can't have access to it or assign it to our created superstars? That's crazy, bro. It is part of a DLC that I paid for, so I should have access to it, man. I mean, if you're not going to give us access to it, why put it in the game? And again, I'm sure this is one of those things that is not on 2K or VC. I'm pretty sure this is more of a WWE call, but that still does not mean my point does not stand. I mean, we still should have access to these kind of things if they're in the game and we paid for them. Because I think enough time has passed where we can all admit that the DLC situation has been a little bit shaky this year. So it's bad enough that we're still waiting on things that we have not gotten that we've already paid for, only to get inside the game and still be locked out of things that we paid for. Not gonna lie to you, man, that is crazy work. So as a fan, WWE 2K VC, moving forward, I would highly suggest that we keep all the DLCs in-house, meaning let's stick with guys and girls already on the roster and under contract. And in the between time, if you want to go on a side mission and maybe throw in some celebrity DLC, hey, I love that for y'all. Y'all have my blessing, but I think maybe we need to go back to placing the emphasis on actual wrestlers. This way, maybe we have less of these situations where fans are waiting on things that they've been promised, but there's nothing really the dev team can do, so they're just kind of sitting on their hands and taking all the fire and blame for something that's beyond their control. But that's just my say on it, man. WGC, comment down below and let me know what you guys think about the current state of the DLC. How are you guys feeling about the whole DLC landscape in general? Are you guys a fan of the whole celebrity thing? Or do you feel like WWE and 2K should just stick to the current roster and legends? Appreciate y'all rocking with your boy and giving me a piece of your time. It is truly a blessing. All glory to God. Love y'all. And remember to try to be a blessing to somebody. Later, WGC. Yay.